Okay, so let's make a start. So today, in this session, what I want to work towards is getting into getting into the dancer balance. So as usual, at the beginning of the session, I'm going to use these props. Very handy to have a prop, but basically the dancer is this type of thing that's going to go on. As we loosen up, get some energy flowing through the body, that will look much more elegant. And really, the dancer, it is a beautiful posture because it's got all sorts of things going on. It's got lots of strength coming up through the legs, so we get to really connect down into the earth energy, get the earth energy moving up into the body. It's also got wonderful back bend, so we're going to be doing some chest openers, and as you know, probably chest openers are one of my favourite things to do. And in the practice for this as well, we're also going to do some strength work on the back. So we're going to come into Shalabhasana. So it's got a lot of different things going on. It's all about strength through the legs, flexibility through the spine, strength through the spine, open-heartedness, joy. What more could you ask for in a yoga practice? So let's just start by, we're going to come down onto the floor. And what I should say as well, and I always forget to say, is having a belt is always handy. Or if you've not got a yoga belt, the equivalent of that, a couple of ties strapped together, or what else could you use? Dressing gown, whatever works. Towel. Just if you really want to go far, you can cut your towel so it's nice and thin, but just don't tell anybody; they won't like it. So keep the towel whole if that's going to be the case, and a couple of blocks. So this is what we need. These are all the props that we're going to need for today's practice. So we're just going to chuck them over there. And so let's start taking it nice and easy. I'm in a kind of very easy sort of frame of mind and body today. So let's just come down onto your back and bringing the knees into the chest, moving the knees from side to side. If you could get an opportunity to do this really any time of the day, it's a really nice thing to do, especially at the end, towards the end of the day. You've been stood up quite a bit, and then bringing the feet down onto the floor. And so having the feet far enough away from the body so that so you can just give the legs a bit of a shake and loosen the muscles. So we don't have the feet too far in at this stage. And then placing the right hand on the belly and the left hand on the heart. And breathe. As we settle into this posture, we can bring the chin towards the chest slightly, keeping the head on the floor, but keeping the chin towards the chest to lengthen the back of the neck. And allowing the belly to be soft. Allowing the chest to be soft. Allowing the elbows to release down into the ground. So this is about being open right across the chest, shoulders releasing back. And allow the breath to be long and smooth. I'm getting a sense that every exhale, just releasing down into the ground, doing that letting go thing. Letting go. but not forcing the letting go, just allowing. So neither an apple or the tree decide to let go. It just happens when it's ready. Really what we're doing here is facilitating that. Every breath in, feeling that the whole of the body expands, just as the belly and chest expand on the in-breath. Allow the whole of the body to expand. And as you exhale, allow the whole of the body to release. Maybe you can even sense that it's not just the physical body which expands and releases, but something of the energy body as well. Which extends beyond the physical body. And they say that the energy body actually extends to infinity, ultimately. So there's no separation. Just allowing the breath to breathe. Allowing the thoughts, the mental chatter to just gradually ease down. In the same way that you soften the body, soften the mind too. Unclench that fist of the mind. Help that process by just raising the eyebrows a few times and just releasing the jaw from side to side, so those physical sort of movements in the face helps to release the mind too. And on the next breath in now, I'm going to release the arms up into the air. So as you breathe in, release the arms up and over the head. And as you exhale, bringing the arms back to the side of the body. So breathe in, arms come up and over. And as you exhale, arms come back by the side of the body. So continue with that movement with your breath. Just noticing the opening that you may feel in the chest, in the rib cage as the arms come up, helping to lengthen that breath, creating more space to breathe. So really the practice becomes a meditation around the breath and the body. awareness as you're stepping into the present moment. And then next time the arms are by the side of the body, and we're going to just hug the knees into the chest and placing the right hand on the right knee, left hand on the left. And then as you breathe in, just pressing the knees away. And then as you exhale, bringing the knees back in. So just allowing the movement to flow with the breath. And just noticing that as you move your legs away, it's easier to breathe in because we're opening the body. And as we're bringing the knees back in towards the chest, we're naturally exhaling. So we're just allowing the body to breathe naturally with the movement. And then next time the knees are in towards the chest, we're going to separate the knees out to the side and then gently start to circle the knees so that the knees circle, they come together, come in towards the chest, and then separate. Just a big circle. So we start small and then gradually get bigger and bigger. And really this is about feeling into the hips. Just feeling into that range of movement in the hips. And then next time the knees are together and near the chest, it's going to circle those knees the other direction. So I'm pretty interested in what this range of movement is like. Is it a smooth circle or is it a rocky, straight-edged shape? But whatever it is, just be present with that and just acknowledge it. Maybe over time it'll smooth out and start to encourage a few more curves into that movement. And then next time the knees are into the chest, just one more hug into the chest and one more massage of the lower back into the ground. And then just bringing the feet onto the ground. And we're going to hug the right knee now into the chest. And this is where you might need your belt because we're going to press that right heel up into the air. And you can either hold behind your right thigh or you can place a belt around the widest part of the right leg, right foot. So straighten that leg. So the idea is essentially to make the leg straight and then we bring it to the vertical. So every breath in, we're going to make that leg a little bit straighter. And every exhale will bring the leg so that it starts to become more vertical. And if you wanted to move this on, you can straighten the left leg along the ground. So this really starts to add a little bit of extra. It's the opening of the right leg. Just hold it there for another couple of breaths. And then from there, let's just bend that left knee. So bringing that left foot in towards the body. And then release the right ankle onto that left knee. And we're just allowing the right knee to press away. But do keep that foot engaged though, so keep it engaged. Just show you here, so just to make sure that the foot isn't kind of pointed like this, it's the foot, the toes are coming towards that knee, and this helps to protect the knee joint. And then moving this on, if you wanted to, you can sort of hold behind the left thigh or the left knee. So bring that knee into the chest, pressing the other knee away, and it really starts to open up that right hip. And then the further across you can bring that left knee towards the left shoulder, the more intense you may be able to find that in the back of that right hip. So play around with this with your own practice. And then just release from there and stretch the entire length of the body. Right side and left side. Giving the body a bit of a shake, release the muscles away from the legs in particular. And let's come on to side two now. So this time, the right foot is flat on the floor and you're hugging the left knee into the chest and pressing that left heel up into the air, either clasping behind the thigh or using the belt around the widest part of the foot. But do make sure that if you're using a belt that the elbows are releasing down into the ground and shoulders are releasing down. We're not introducing any tension into the shoulders and upper arms, neck, whatever. Just really focusing on that left leg. And then moving from there, if you wanted to, you can straighten that right leg along the ground, keeping that right foot active. Holding it there for a couple of breaths. And then just going to bend that right knee, so bringing the right foot closer to the body. And then releasing the left ankle onto the right knee. But again, we're going to keep that left foot engaged this time. And we're going to press that knee away, pressing the left knee away. And if you wanted to move it on, then you can hold behind the left thigh, the right thigh, sorry, or the right shin if you wanted to, if you're feeling quite sort of flexible today. And then if you wanted to bring that right knee over towards the right shoulder, that adds a little bit more je ne sais quoi into the posture. And we all like a bit of that. And just hold it there just for a couple more breaths, just really enjoying this opening. And if there is any sort of, you've got a good dull ache, I hope, going on there, no sharp pains, but just breathing into that space. It does become very moorish over time. Just got to bear with it. And then release from there. Straighten both legs out in front of you. And stretching both arms over the head. Right side, left side. Nice open in the body. And then the final bit of this floor sequence before we move on, or the floor sequence on our back, is to bring the feet into the body and just checking, so as far in as you can, and just checking that you can see the outer side, the outer edges of the feet on the outside of the hips. The feet are parallel. Palms pressing down into the floor or facing down into the floor, and then pressing the feet into the ground. And we're going to come up into a bridge posture. So we're going to come straight up, rolling up each individual vertebrae. And then we're going to roll all the way back down again. So keeping the tailbone tucked under as long as possible. And then as you breathe in, we're going to unzip the spine from the floor, coming all the way up. And as you exhale, you're going to zip the spine back down again. So just keep moving with the breath, just enjoying this movement of the spine. Just learning how to control it, connecting with each vertebrae and all the muscles required to really control that movement. And then next time you're up, we're going to stay up, but really pressing the hips up, making sure that the knees are sort of moving towards each other as if you're holding a football between the knees. And maybe you'll feel this really nice sort of sensation in the thighs here. Give the thighs a bit of a workout, as well as a bit of a stretch, an opening there. Couple more breaths up here. Chest lifts a bit higher. Hips lift higher. And then controlled descent all the way back down again, sucking the tailbone under, and eventually the sacrum releases down and hugging the knees once more into the chest, massaging the lower back into the ground. And let's roll over onto the right hand side and coming all the way up and over onto our knees. So we're on all fours right now, and you can see there that my wrists are sort of slightly in front of the shoulders, so not putting too much strain through the wrists. If they were directly under the shoulders, that really doesn't suit me. So not putting any strain there. And sitting back into child's pose from there. And when we're in child's pose, the arms are active, so make sure the arms are active. And to do that, we externally rotate the tops of the arms. The tops of the arms are I'm just demonstrating here now, the tops of the arms are externally rotating. And if we were to do that with the arms going up towards the ceiling, with my torso upright, then the hands would face in towards each other. But because the hands are on the ground, we're externally rotating, and you can really feel this opening right across the shoulder blades, hopefully. And from there, we're going to come up onto all fours. We're going to tuck the toes under, and we're going to press back into downward facing dog. As you breathe in, releasing the knees down to the ground, and rest back into child's pose. Breathe in, coming up onto all fours, tuck the toes under, pressing back into downward facing dog. And then inhale, knees come down, and then back into child's pose. So let's do that a few more times, just moving with the breath. Really nice sort of limbering movement here. We're just getting a sense of how the body's feeling. We're fitting in a little bit of an inversion, the head below the heart, backs of the legs open up. And then next time you're in downward facing dog, then we're going to walk out the dog. So we're going to straighten one knee, one leg, and bend the other. And then we're going to straighten the opposite. So just walking out the dog a few times. Heels moving down towards the ground. You can swing the hips as well. Just make this movement how you want it to be. If you want it to stay with one leg straight and the other bent for a bit longer, that's absolutely fine. And if this is too much, then you can always come down onto all fours and just have a little bit of a rest. But as it happens, then we're going to come down onto the knees anyway right now. And then coming back into child's pose. And then coming back onto all fours. And then let's arch the back like an angry cat. So tucking the tailbone under, tucking the chin in. And as you breathe in, lifting the chest, and eventually lifting the tailbones, and exhale, arching the back. And so with this movement, it's really about seeing if you can create a little wave up and down the spine. So as you exhale, the tailbone tucks under, and eventually the wave moves all the way, and the chin tucks in the end. And as you inhale, the chest lifts, and eventually the tailbone does too. So it's really nice sort of movement, being in the spine, noticing the effect this has in the muscles, maybe in the abdomen. If you've done any strong abdominal work recently, this is you'll probably feel the opening in that region. I only say that because I did some earlier, and I can certainly feel it now. And then come into a flat back position, tucking the toes under, and let's be in plank. And then release the knees, and coming back into child's pose. And then breathe in, coming up, tuck the toes under, let's be in plank. So a nice plank isn't with the backside stuck up or in a kind of banana shape, but with dog, it is a kind of nice and flat, and the abdomen is engaged, and then release the knees, sitting back as you exhale. And breathing in, coming up onto all fours, tucking the toes under. And here we are again in plank. Couldn't be better. Heels pressing back, sternum, crown of the head, pressing forward, releasing the knees, and resting back into child's pose. And let's just give the arms a bit of a rest and shoulders. So bringing the hands by the side of the feet and allowing the shoulders to drape over the knees. And either resting the head on the floor, or if you've got your blocks handy, you can use one or two blocks or more blocks, depending on your flexibility today. Just resting the forehead down and breathing deeply. So really breathing to the back of the heart, side of the ribs, expanding the rib cage, just getting all of those intercostal muscles to be moving. Expanding the rib cage from side to side, front, the back, all the way around the heart. And then from there, we're going to reach forward with both hands again. And we're going to come up onto all fours, and we'll do just 3 of these little half chaturangas. So essentially keeping the elbows gripped into the rib cage. And as we come down, and that you can see there, I've got a straight line from the knees all the way up to the crown of my head. And then we're going to engage the abdomen, float down so that the nose tickles the ground. And then we're going to press the whole of planet Earth away. And then come back into child's pose. So breathe in, coming up onto all fours. And then we're going to come down so that the first of all, the torso is, the body from the knees to the head is nice and straight, abdomen is engaged, and then elbows gripped into the rib cage. And we're going to float down. Good strength work this. And then pressing into the earth, coming up. And then back again. And then once more coming up. Straight line from the knees to the head. Floating down. Hold it down. And if you wanted to move this on, you could tuck the toes under and then lift the knees off the ground. It's always a good thing to do. Just so we're that way inclined. And then knees down and pressing into the ground all the way up and all the way back again. And that, my friends, is a fantastic workout for the arms and shoulders. Give them a rest, bring in the hands by the side of the feet, the shoulders draped over the knees, and breathe and just feel the strength, the energy that has started to move, maybe some heat started to move as a result of those 3 chaturanga style press ups. And then let's just keep this flowing a little bit now. So from there, we're going to reach forward with both arms, and then we're going to come down into a Sphinx posture. So this is where our chest openers are coming in now, a little bit more. And so elbows underneath the shoulders in Sphinx, and just allowing the chest to lift, shoulders to drop. I quite like to just do a little lateral movement here, not too much. Now you can look over one shoulder towards the opposite foot and then swap over. So just looking over. But the main thing really is to find this opening in the chest. Open-hearted. So not throwing the head back either. We're going to keep the neck nicely in line with the rest of the body. And then from there, let's just release down so that the forehead can rest on the hands. And let's come back up to that position. And where we're going to be now is we're going to let's see if I can get this. So elbows again underneath the shoulders, and this time we're going to just separate the hands slightly so that they're in a 5-to-1 position, and then pressing into the ground, and so you're lifting up a little bit higher here, so that you're not necessarily going for straight arms here, just keeping it sensible for your body. Keeping the hips down. So we're not hinging the lower back, if anything, we're moving into the mid to upper back, and the heart is opening, and then release from there. And pressing up and back into child's pose. Just starts to open up the back into a nice counter pose for the back bends. And the final thing before we come up, so we've been down for quite a long time in this practice, but I just really wanted to try to do some more groundwork today. We're going to come into Shalabhasana. So Shalabhasana, the nose is pointing down when you do it, and if you just want to, just to watch for a second. So we're going to, as we breathe in, we're going to lift the chest, and we're going to lift from the backs of the knees. The nose is pointing down, and it really is a nice sort of back strength, and then we're going to hold it there. So let's give that a go, shall we? So exhale, and then breathe in, lift the chest. Lift the thighs off the ground to the backs of the knees, palms facing upwards, but fingers obviously pointing backwards. Looking down towards the ground, keeping the back of the neck nice and long. Breathe in and exhale. Just allowing the left cheek to come down onto the ground. So left cheek this time, and then the right cheek next time for balance. And then once more, just looking down towards the floor. And as you breathe in, lifting the chest, lifting the thighs, from backs of the knees, keeping the neck nice and long, and lift higher. Every in-breath, lift higher. Really strengthening the muscles in the back, helping the core sit there. We're going to come on to some abdominal work later. Couple more breaths here, lift. and lift. And then release from there. The other cheek, turning the other cheek. So we've got the balance there. Just noticing the heart rate. And then hands underneath the shoulders, pressing into the ground. Tucking the toes under. And we're going to just come into this forward bend, a ragdoll forward bend position. So knees really bent. So bent enough to let the belly rest on the thighs. So everybody, good excuse for not doing yoga is I can't touch my toes, can't touch my toes. I can't touch my toes. I hear that in my sleep. Don't tell me you can't touch your toes. Because if you can't touch your toes with the legs straight, then bend them like that. Top tip. I can't touch my toes. Yes, correct answer. And just allowing the shoulders to release. Sorry, lock down. It's fine to get into me. I'm just hearing voices in my head. Allowing the head to release. Lengthen the back of the neck. Knees are nice and soft. And then from here, what we're going to do is we're not going to roll up the spine. We're going to engage the glutes, engage them, and using these are the biggest muscles in the body. And we're going to first of all lift the chest. So just like we did with Shalabhasana there, we're going to lift the chest and then come halfway up, open, and then come back down again. So I'm going to do this, we're going to place the fingertips so that they touch on the sternum, and then we're going to lift and open. Glutes engaged, lift, open. So it's really getting the glutes moving and the muscles in the back moving, really nice. And then coming all the way up. And we have been down for quite a while. If you get any dizziness, keeping the chin tucked in. And then we're going to come all the way up. So we're going to right onto the tiptoes. And just swaying from side to side. So I'm just going to move the camera slightly here. So coming up. And then just sway from side to side. Swaying palm. So the roots are strong in the ground, but we're flexible enough that we can bend with the wind, the storms of life. We can just go with it all. And then from there, just keeping the heels up if you can, and then opening the back. So open the chest, sorry. That's really good. Lifting up from the sternum. And then coming upright and release down from there. Just give the whole body a little bit of a shake and just doing the shoulders. And I kind of did this in another session, and if you wanted to join me, you can start to do a bit of a Maasai warrior, but it's kind of, you become like, the floor becomes a trampoline. Fantastic. But that is one of those kind of things that is yeah, quite good to do if the moment takes you. So yeah, giving the legs a bit of a shake, arms a bit of a shake, and circling the shoulders. There we go. And then let's just circle the shoulders the other way around. So what we're going to sort of move on to now is we're going to come into our Shalabhasana, but I thought it'd be a good way. I always like to I always see these sort of sessions as a little bit of a route. It's a bit of like a little walk through, and we started off on the gentle slopes, pasture land, if you will, at the first, gradually getting stronger and stronger. And so I'd like to just do a warrior one posture now, and this is again, this is where you may well need a block, because what we're going to do is we're going to start, and it's an incredibly strong posture. We're going to start, hopefully you can see that, by placing the left heel onto the block, so the heel is on the block and the foot is on the floor. And then we're going to take a big step forward with that right leg. So if we were to do this without the block, the heel would be raised off the ground. Just get my glasses on so I can see you. Excellent. And so it's strong through both legs, especially the front bent leg. So if everybody's joining me on that one, and eventually that thigh, the front thigh, will be parallel with the ground, and you can always walk that foot forward. And you probably, and the hips are facing forward. I'm kind of looking around at you, but the hips and chest are facing forward. So strong through the legs, a little bit of a balance too going on. And if it is a little bit wobbly, you can separate the feet out a little bit, so that if the feet are sort of lined up, you can separate them out. And then from there, what we can do, you can move it on by raising the arms up into the air. So lifting up through the chest, looking up to the hands. So from the waist down, you're sinking down. And it's a strong back leg as well as front leg. So the kneecaps lifting, but under the waist up, we're lifting up and we're opening the chest. And then releasing there. It's looking good. And then let's just step out of that. Just find a way of coming out of that. And it really is very handy having the sofa around. It's become my #1 yoga prop. So quite strong. Maybe the world feel a little bit wobbly now. That's absolutely fine. But breathing deeply, catching the breath before we come on to side 2. So on the side 2 now, what we're going to do is going to place the opposite heel onto your block, and then stepping all the way forward. So bending that front knee, and you can bring that front foot forward, hips facing forward, walking forward with that front leg. So thigh will eventually be parallel with the ground. And then lift. So again, the waist down is sinking down, the waist up is rising up, the chest is opened, but the tailbone is tucked under slightly, so we're not overarching the back, overarching the lower back. We're lifting the chest, sinking down a little bit further. So any of these postures, 5 breaths is good, but make sure that, or 3 breaths, whatever suits you, but do make sure that your breath is long and smooth. And then let's just release from there. And bringing the feet together, however works for you. Strong in the legs. And let's just do a bit of movement in the hips now to just allow the hips to just settle back. Well, not settle back to where they were. Let's just move it on here. And let's just allowing the improvement in the mobility and strength in the body to start to absorb. It's looking good. And it's just giving yourself a bit of a shake off. So strong through the legs. So it's a bit of a tough peak to climb that actually, but we're now finding our way to the actual peak that we're heading to, which is this dancer. So let's start off then. So with dancer, it is a balance, and it's an opening in the chest. And you can use props. Don't forget, if you've got a sofa lying around, that's always good, or a chair. You might want to get your blocks. So whatever you need. Just gonna have a sup of my tea. So let's get ourselves set for this. So just feeling the awareness descending to the ground, feeling that connection with the earth, feeling the strength developing through the legs. And first of all, we're going to bring all of the weight onto the left foot. So weight onto the left foot, and then we're going to start just by bringing the right knee up as high as it'll come, just to release the hips there. And from there, strong left leg. We're going to bring the right foot behind, so holding on to around the ankle. But do make sure that the knees are together, so we're not kind of like this, we're not twisting the knee in any way. Keep them together. So you can either stay there, or if you wanted to, you can raise that left arm up into the air. And you can already see that there's a little bit of a back bend going on. You can move that onto the next stage if you wanted to by bringing the left arm forward. And it's almost as if you're leaning onto a post. And we're going to press, just really kick back with that right ankle. So really lifting up through the chest, kicking back with that right ankle. And then release from there. And just seeing how that was for you. So we didn't hold it for that long. So you can hold these postures for as long or as little time as you like. We develop strength over time, but that was just a little bit of a taster for that. And let's come to the other side now. So I'm going to switch myself around. So I'm going to bring all the weight, first of all, into the right leg. Strong right leg. Grounded through the the right foot, visualizing the energy descending down. Just bringing so first of all, we're like this. And then we can bring the ankle behind, keeping the knees together, raising that right arm up into the air, bringing that arm forward, it's resting onto a post, and then we're going to lean forward. So leaning forward, kicking that back, ankle back into that hand, so lifting up through the chest, opening the chest. Couple more breaths here. And release from there. And just bringing the feet onto the ground. And it's always a good idea after a balance. A couple of strong postures there. Let's come down onto the ground. And really nicely stretch the entire length of the body. Right side, left side. Just breathing in, opening. And from there, we're going to just do some work on the abdomen. So let's just breathe in and out a couple of times. And then we just, as it exhale, just sitting up, coming all the way up. And then coming all the way back down again. So we're doing a dynamic version of Paschimottanasana. Sitting all the way up. And then coming all the way back down again. So it's breathing in and exhaling as you come up. And if you wanted to, you can raise the arms above the head. This starts to make this a little bit of a stronger version of this posture. Just coming down close to the feet as your legs, your hands will come. And just a couple more now. And then next time you're down, we're going to just hold it down. We're going to bring the feet in towards the body, arms out to the side. And a really good way of releasing the spine and the abdomen after that work is to just allow their knees to drop down to the right side first of all, and then bringing them up and over to the left. So just keep moving the knees side to side. And then next time the knees are over on the right side, we're going to just keep them down there. So just checking that the thighs are as close to a right angle to your torso as they'll be. And if your lower back's okay with that, so thighs at a right angle to the torso. And then from there, just stretching out the legs. So straightening the legs so that the whole of the legs are at a right angle to the torso. And just keeping both shoulders grounded if you can. And it's nice to close the eyes as you do that. Just retain that connection with the posture and the breath. And then bending the knees, and then bringing them right over to the other side. And as we did before, just checking that the thighs are at right angles to the body. And then straightening the legs out to the sides. But the whole of the legs are right angles with the body. And just keeping the shoulders grounded as much as you can. And the eyes closed, the face soft. Really connecting with the breath as you do this. And bending the knees. And bring them up to the center. And hugging the knees into the chest. Massaging the lower back from side to side. And we'll just roll over onto the right hand side, and then we're going to come into a seated position. And we're going to do just finish off the practice tonight, the physical practice with a twist. So when you sat here, we're just separating the flesh from the sitting bones to start with, and sitting in this Dandasana posture. And this is where you know if you find that you're slouching down, it's not that comfortable, then this is definitely a block is a good investment. The humble block, it's found its way in life. So using that to sit nice and tall. Okay. But wherever you are, what we're going to do is we're going to come into a twist now. So we're going to start. We're going to give you two choices basically. We can either keep the left leg straight, and we're going to place the right foot on the outside of the left knee. So if you want to do that choice, then that's what we're going to do. The left leg straight, the right foot on the outside of the left knee, in this kind of position. If you're feeling flexible, then you can bring the left foot so it's on the outside of the right hip, and once more we're going to bring that right leg so it's on the outside of the left knee. Okay, and so we've got two choices there. So either left leg straight or left leg bent. The choice is yours. And we're not going to be here, we're going to be open. Place the right hand behind and the left hand either on the knee or the left inner elbow outside the knee. And we're going to twisting into that right knee, right thigh. And really the beauty of this posture, I find, with the bent, if you can have a bent bottom leg, is I feel a little bit more of an opening in the hip. So it's not just, for me, it's not just a spinal twist, especially if the hand is in this kind of position. It really helps to open the hip, for me, it does at least. And if you want to take it a little bit further, then the upper arm of the left hand, the outside of the right leg, that takes it a little bit more intense. But the main thing is to make sure that in any of these postures, but especially twists like this, if the breath is restricted in any way, if the body is uncomfortable, if the body's shaking, then it's just ease off. Don't go forcing it. It'll come. It'll open. It'll be like a flower when it just comes from the bud into a full flower. And there's a story as well about somebody who's went into a forest and he tried to he saw all these chrysalises. The caterpillars were metamorphosing into beautiful butterflies, and he just saw them. He said, he saw the butterflies just start to emerge in the struggle of that emergence, and he thought he'd give them all a helping hand, and he pulled them all out, and because they didn't have that struggle in their emergence, they sadly perished. So we need this. I don't know where that story's going. There's got to be some kind of relevance somewhere. We'll leave that for you to decide. And then let's release there. Struggle is good, but not too much force in the whole thing. things will happen when they're ready. That could be the moral to that story. And then release down. Really nice opening, entire length of the body. Right side, left side. So after doing that, we held that twist for quite a while as we entered into the jungle of my imagination. And then let's just come up. So a good way of coming up is placing the palms on the ground underneath the lower back and pressing the elbows and hands into the ground. And let's come on to side two. So here we are, we're going to do the other side of this posture. So I'll give you those two choices here. So we either keep the left leg, so the right leg straight, or we can bend it. So let's see what we're going to do here. I meant the left leg straight or bend it. I'm doing things back to front here, by the way. It's very complicated. So this time, what we're going to do, getting completely confused. The opposite legs, that's what we do, opposite legs. So right leg straight, and then just bringing that left foot over the outside of the knee. So we can either be there, or if you wanted to take it on a little bit further, bringing the ankle by the side of the hip. So we've got these two choices here. But wherever you are, sitting nice and upright, and then bringing the left hand behind. And first of all, we're just using the hand around the outside of that right knee, left knee. It's a knee. And then growing tall and twist. And then just hooking the elbow around. This gets it a little bit further into the twist. As I said before, I always find that by bringing the elbow like this and in this kind of position, it just does something to my hip. It gives it a nice opening. And then if you wanted to really sort of come around and twisting into that thigh. That's good. And we're not kind of leaning back, we're being nice and tall. So breathe in, lengthen the spine, exhale and twist. So a couple more breaths here. Breathe in deeply and twisting every exhale. Breathe in and then untwisting and coming onto your backs and really lengthening through the length of the body, right side, left side, and that has really flushed out all the toxins which are squeezed out from the abdomen there. So do drink a couple of glasses of water after the class, just slowly, don't gulp them down. Not too cold either. Don't drink cold water. Just lukewarm if you can bear it. A bit of herbal tea. And then just bring the knees into the chest, massaging the lower back into the ground. And roll over onto the right hand side. And we're going to finish now with the short meditation before the final relaxation. So sitting either on a meditation stool or a couple of blocks, or we've got these sort of meditation stools are good. And if you do want one of these, or if you want to the instructions of how to make one of these, if you've got any spare time, I don't know if you have at the moment, then give us a shout and I can send you the very informative handout. So sitting in a comfortable position, and you could be sat on a chair as well. That's absolutely fine. And placing the hands either on the knees or stacked on top of each other. And finding the breath. Just finding the connection with the ground underneath the body. Softening the face. Softening the crown of the head, and the forehead. Allowing the body to breathe. Having an awareness of the breath at all times. It's getting a sense that the practice that we've done today is gently absorbing into the body. It's absorbing on a gross level and the entire physical body down to each individual cell. It's also affecting the energy body, or at least making the energy body be more apparent right now. So they say that the energy body does extend to infinity, but really on a gross level, we can approximate it at about 2 hand widths, about 10 to 12 finger widths actually from the physical body, known as the Dwadishanta. So we're cloaked by this energy body, this glow. So allowing your awareness to rest in this region. You can either stay seated, or if you wanted to come down onto your backs into Shavasana, that's absolutely fine. But do so without disturbing yourself. And when you're on the floor, then remember the Shavasana is a posture. So we start off by pressing the heels away and then letting the feet flop out to the side. Palms of the hand are facing upwards and they're about a foot away from the body, so that shoulders and chest can be open. Keep the back of the neck long by gently bringing the chin towards the chest slightly, but keeping the back of the head on the floor. And then allowing the whole body to release into the earth. But wherever you are, maintaining this connection with the Dwadishanta, the energy body. So this soft awareness or soft acknowledgement that this energy body is surrounding your physical body. I find a similar meditation as well. It really does help to allow the fluctuations in the mind to come to some kind of peace, some kind of rest. But good meditation as well is if you're out walking, then looking up to the horizon, looking up to the clouds or to the horizon. So expanding the awareness. Maybe that is connecting with the Vadashanta too. Mind starting to wander, then just bring it gently back to this energy body. Just allowing the mind to be soft. Being with the breath. Starting to notice the temperature of the air on the skin and in the nostrils as you breathe in and out. Becoming aware of the physical body, the ground underneath the body, four walls, the ceiling. Starting to lengthen the breath now, wriggling the fingers and toes. Circling the wrists and ankles. And reaching up over the head with both arms. Really nice. Stretch out the entire length of the body. And rolling over onto your right hand side. And then coming up into a simple cross-legged position. Oh, namaste. Let's, before we go, I've got to do this because I've really missed the communal chant. So we're all on it now, people. We're all here. I want to really see some noise as we do this. Hear some noise. Let's chant 3 ohms, everybody. So just breathe in and breathe out. And breathing in. Breathing. And one more. Oh, wonderful! Thank you. I couldn't chant too loudly because I wanted to hear you all.